Hi there, I'm Mark Settle. In high school, I decided to take a girl to see a movie, and I learned something that night. The Passion of the Christ is not a good date movie. Now that you know something about me, let's learn about the world. Let's begin by exploring the intersection of Walt Disney and Sigmund Freud. Peter Pan and the 101 Dalmatians share one thing, and that is they are the only two Disney full cartoon features where the main character has both parents and neither of them are killed. Talk about an Oedipus complex. This is a sport called noodling. Oklahomans go to the Arkansas River and stick their hands in the mud holes where catfish rest and then pull them out. Sometimes they are bitten by box turtles and lose their fingers. Speaking of box turtles, did you know that their head accelerates out of their shell faster than any other animal, 5 times faster than a gazelle starts running? Whoa. Tradition. The traditional military salute originated during medieval times when knights had to open their mask, or you know what I'm talking about, to identify themselves to the king. It is now known as the traditional mask. Salute. Vocabulary. The average person knows 5,000 to 6,000 words. I don't think that that's enough, so we're going to learn one now. Cratometer. Let's spell it. C-R-A-T-O-M-E-T-R. This is an instrument measuring the power of magnification. Lions, elephants, and sleep. Lions sleep for up to 20 hours a day. Because they are nocturnal, or at least more or less nocturnal, they have night vision up to 6 times better than humans. And let's talk about one more African mammal that likes to sleep. Animals, they sometimes fall asleep while they're having sex. Speaking of animals, the first bomb dropped by the Allies on Berlin during World War II killed the only elephant at the Berlin Zoo. No more circuses in Nazi Germany. It's time for some audience participation. The shortest sentence in the English language to have both a subject and a verb has 3 letters, 2 words, and a space. Can anyone guess it? There are actually 2. I am and I do. Oh my, and we have time, let's kill it. Okay, this is General Curtis LeMay. He oversaw the Allied strategic bombing of the Pacific Theater and the Berlin airlift. I hope, though, that LeMay Avenue is not named after him because in 1968, he ran for vice president with George Wallace under the American Independent Party platform, which advocated segregation. In a lifetime as an American, we're going to say 123,205,000 words. I'm saying something now, yeah. You're going to have 104,000 dreams. You're going to eat 4.5 full cows by yourself. You're going to have sex 4,240 times. Did you know that in Britain, if you place a stamp of the Queen upside down, it is a crime against the state, and you could be hung for treason against the Queen? Perhaps this inspired Shakespeare's phrase, "The lady doth protest too much." Children's books. Maurice Sendak, this is a long one, author of Where the Wild Things Are, published his first drawings in a high school physics textbook authored by his teacher. He was given an A and a trifling amount of money. Cass, did you know that if they fall from a 7-story building, they're more likely to survive than if they fall from a 4-story building? This because it can take them up to 5 stories to realize they're falling and right themselves. It makes you wonder if cats were people, would they bungee jump? Mexico City, this isn't funny, I don't know why I put it in, but Mexico City is sinking at a rate of 6 to 8 inches per year. As its population of 19 million empty its underground reservoir. This is ironic because, that was still not funny, the city was once a lake when the Spanish drained that out into the Mexico Valley. Pompeii, and one of the central intersections of Pompeii, destroyed by Mount Vesuvius, is a replica of the male genitalia. This is a central intersection. There's this big replica of the male genitalia, 3x3, and it points to a house of prostitution, or at least an old one. When Robert Goddard began testing rockets with a liquid propellant in 1926, the New York Times said, quote, he lacked the knowledge laid out clearly in our high schools. 49 years later, they said that the Times regretted the error. Check this out. A French conman sold the Eiffel Tower for $5 million in 1932. He convinced some German businessmen that it required a lot of maintenance, it was no longer necessary for the 1889 World Fair, and that they would like to sell it as scrap metal. It was never found. $5 million he ran away with. Sold the Eiffel Tower. Sweet. Anatomy, gentlemen, raise your hand. Gentlemen, raise your hand. This has something to do with your hand, but keep it up. Did you know that the longest bone in the human body is the femur? You didn't? That's too bad. And did you know that keep the hands up. Did you know that the average penis is 3 times longer than your thumb? That's not true, but I'll bet you look at your thumb. I'm Mark Settle. Invite me to your next cocktail party.